Hey everybody, it's Chris from the Droning Company here at AUVSI in Denver, Colorado. We've already visited our friends at Draganfly twice before. We got one more thing we want to talk to them about, and to join me and tell me a little bit about what you see in the background here is my friend Jacky Heshi. He is from Draganfly here on behalf of Bluvec, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah, thank you. So this is our Bluvec system. So this is a counter UAV system, so it's meant for detecting any UAV that's in the space. So right now you can see it has detected 31 drones in the space in the past 8 hours. Right now it has 8 drones active right now that's being detected. So it can detect from 900 megahertz up to 1.5 gigahertz spectrum. So it has a full spectrum. So any drones in the Wi-Fi space, 2.4, 5.8 that you see, is able to detect it and be able to pinpoint where the drone is located and also the pilot. So if anything like law enforcement or corrections officers, they'll be able to say, hey, there's a drone in my space, and they'll be able to go to the pilot and say, hey, either land or bring it down.
Okay, excellent. Now, in terms of those numbers you were telling us about, I saw that the current just changed to 7. That's like real-time data that's being collected. So there are currently 7 drones in the Denver area right now being flown.
Correct, yeah, and this system has a catalog of 470 different drone signatures. So the reason we brought it to this space is, it's the best place to capture more signals. So any signatures that we don't know, we'll add it to the database, and we'll go from 470 to maybe 500 by the end of the day.
Okay. Now, in terms of like how this would be applied, you already give us an example of like law enforcement going, hey, you're doing something wrong, bring it down. Where else could this be used? What other capabilities does it have beyond just the detection?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our more budgetary system. We do have more stationary and permanent solutions that's mounted on buildings, on tall buildings, to essentially create a mesh network. So on our more higher end systems, it's about a 25-kilometer range. So you can expand. If you have 3 of those, you can really detect all surroundings. So for example, like this, it will be used in like airports. You don't want drones flying in that situation, or large events where it's very dangerous to fly over people. Now, Bluvec is working on a jammer system. The legalities of that hasn't caught up, but they have a working prototype to essentially jam the drone and tell the drone to land at a certain spot by spoofing the GPS.
Okay, gotcha. Now that's an interesting thing you brought up, is because jammers are not legal right now as it stands. In terms of what this would do, because I know a pain point for people when they're talking about jamming systems, because they do exist, is what happens to their UAV so this would just essentially tell it to land, and the drone would land where it was.
This system here is purely for monitoring, and it's outside of the jamming system. But Bluvec is working on a jammer, so you can point at the drone and tell it to, hey, land it over there in a safe spot away from the environment, right? There are other jammers out there that just essentially kills the drone or captures drones in the air, which is very dangerous, because if that capture or that capture jam wasn't successful, it would just land on somebody's head. Right, so be able to jam and be able to tell it to land in a safe spot is a crucial step towards counter UAV.
Okay, now in terms of alerts and monitoring this, do you actually need somebody to be monitoring it to be able to use it, or does it send alerts to people that need to know when there's a drone in the space that it's not supposed to be in?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Bluvec has thought about that. So it works with companies to essentially integrate notification. So we can set certain radiuses, say, hey, within 10 kilometers, just notify me, but within 5 kilometers, let's execute somebody over there and say, hey, let's go over there and check out what's happening. So it can work with certain APIs, and it has an SDK, so you'll be able to connect it with various third-party solutions like air traffic control systems or any sort of police monitoring systems.
Excellent. Now, okay, in terms of learning more about this, I know you're Draganfly, this is Bluvec, one of your partners. Where can people go to learn more about this particular unit?
They can reach out to draganfly.com, and you'll be able to speak with one of our sales representatives, and we'll be able to guide you through the various options on the Bluvec system. Again, this is more of the entry solutions, but we do have more permanent solutions that we can offer.
Excellent. Hey, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.